After 8 years of living here in New Zealand, here are some of the things that I think are worth sharing for those people who are also planning to move here. Hi, my name is Veronica. I create informative videos about nursing career and what it's like living here in New Zealand. If you find that topic interesting, then please consider subscribing. We are going to talk about a lot of things today, so if you do want to jump to a specific topic, then please feel free to do so. Otherwise, if you're here to watch the whole video, then please make yourself comfortable and we'll get started. So first is safety. By international standards, New Zealand is a safe country to live in. However, we should still know how to keep ourselves and our family safe. So this could be doing things such as locking your doors, your windows, or your cars, and also knowing how to contact emergency services.
So here in New Zealand, in case of an emergency, the number to call is 111.
Calling 111 is free, and you can call from your mobile phone even if you don't have credits. The operator will ask you which service you need and connect you to the right one.
For other situations, you can also contact the police using these phone numbers.
On the other hand, in case of a natural or man-made disaster, we rely on our civil defense group. If you want to know who to contact on your area, then you should definitely check the Get Ready website. In my experience, because I'm working in a public hospital, as part of our orientation, we are given information on what to do in case of a natural or man-made disaster. And I think this information will be really, really important because, as always, it's not really a matter of if, but a matter of when. Next is the great outdoors. New Zealand is a country with spectacular sceneries and recreational activities, so you'll probably spend a lot of time outdoors. But while you are enjoying your many adventures, don't forget about sun protection and water safety.
Being sun smart is about protecting skin and eyes from damaging UV radiation, especially when outdoors from September to April. Remember, slip on a shirt, slip into the shade, slop on sunscreen, slap on hat, wrap on sunglasses. Likewise, know the water safety rules and know what are the risks of swimming, boating, and playing in the water.
New Zealand has 4 seasons: spring, summer, my personal favorite, autumn, and winter. And while we're on the topic of seasons, let's also talk about daylight saving time. At the beginning of spring, we have longer daylight. This literally means that the sun sets at around 9 p.m. So, on the last Sunday of September, we add 1 hour on New Zealand Standard Time. On the other hand, as season changes to autumn, our daylight becomes shorter. So on the first Sunday of April, our clock goes back by 1 hour. This year, daylight saving ends at 3 o'clock on April 5, 2020.
If you are enjoying this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. Salamat po!
Next, now that you are traveling, enjoying different sceneries and recreational activities, let's talk about money.
Once you open a New Zealand bank account, you'll also be given an option to get credit cards, debit cards, or an EFTPOS card. You may already be familiar about the first 2 cards, so I'll just focus on EFTPOS cards. In New Zealand, an EFTPOS card allows you to access available funds in your transactional account to make purchases using EFTPOS, so you don't need to carry so much cash around.
And because EFTPOS cards are widely used here in New Zealand, it just makes transactions a lot easier. And yes, I remember you ate sa tindahan na pag walang panukli, candy na lang. Fair ba yun? Fair ba yun? Joke lang! I love you, ate! Mabash ako, takot ako. Anyway, if you want to know about New Zealand cost of living, I created a video about that, so please check the YouTube card above. And, you know, if you are out and about and you are missing Filipino products, then you don't have to worry. Most major cities have Filipino shops, and it's really nice to see your products from home. So for me personally, I have Pepicasin oil. Kasi nurse, masakit sa likod. And meron pa mga ibang products like Vicks for your back and Voltaren gel. I've only discovered it here in New Zealand, but I think there's also products like this in the Philippines. 𝐍𝐞𝐰 𝐙𝐿, maganda rin yun sa likod, at saka anti-flam. Anyway, next. Alright, so other than spending your hard-earned money, you may also want to send some back home. When I first arrived here in New Zealand, I used to go through Western Union to send money. However, after researching different remittance service providers and even looking at local banks here in New Zealand, I am now happily settled with Orbit Remit. Not a sponsor, I'm just a fan. So the reason why I like Orbit Remit is because I feel like they have a higher exchange rate and also they have a fixed transaction fee. So that's $6, 6 New Zealand dollars per transaction. And then on your 10th transaction, that is free of charge. And they also have good support center and referral program. So I will write the link to Orbit Remit in the description box below, and if you do end up signing up with them using that link, your first transaction will be free of charge. Next is laid-back attitude. So here in New Zealand, when you're talking to someone, you don't really have to address them using sir or ma'am. Their first name will do. And it doesn't matter if they are the owner of a shop, a nurse manager, CEO, you can call them by their first name and it's totally fine. And even when it comes to personal belongings, they're not really particular with the brands. I noticed that especially with my coworkers or my friends here, they're not really after expensive things. It doesn't have to be expensive as long as it's functional. So with the cars, with the gadgets, with makeup and clothes, they're not particular with any brands at all. And I feel like it's refreshing because you don't feel pressured to keep up with the expensive things. And then I also like their attitude of bringing a plate when there's like a celebration or an occasion, which means each and every one of the attendees will just bring something to share for that event and that day. So it definitely makes the cost way cheaper than what it would be in the Philippines if you have to treat everyone. And speaking of bringing a plate, let's now jump to different Kiwi slangs. Kiwis use a lot of slang, and even for those who come from an English-speaking country, some of the words that they use here might still be a bit confusing. For example, this is a torch, cute, chili bin, pub, thog. And this is op shop, nappy, spud, sticky tape, and jandals. And my all-time favorite expression, sweet ass. Next is Maori culture. Understanding New Zealand and New Zealander means understanding the influence of Maori people and culture. Maori are the indigenous people of New Zealand. Te Reo, the Maori language, is an official language of the country along with English and New Zealand Sign Language. Sometimes you may hear two different names for places, an English name and a Maori name. For example, New Zealand, Aotearoa. Obviously, the best way to learn about Maori culture is to experience it firsthand. However, if you're still not here in New Zealand, you may also want to check out Te Ara, the Encyclopedia of New Zealand. It has a lot of information about Maori arrival and the culture of Maori to present day. Moreover, the New Zealand immigration website also has a lot of information for new migrants planning to settle here in New Zealand. Finally, after 8 years of living here in New Zealand, the most important thing that I've learned is sometimes things will not go the way you want it to be, and there will be challenges and difficulties, but in the end, everything will be okay. And I hope that in time, you will also call New Zealand your home.
Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy, and this is our daughter, Arabella.
Hi everyone!
Keep supporting my wife. Click and subscribe.
Magsisubscribe na yan! Subscribe! Magsisubscribe na yan!
Bye guys! We'll see you again next week. Bye!